Hey guys, Puff here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to set up a custom animated login screen for PokeMMO. I know a lot of people probably don't care about the login screen since you're only on it for maybe 2 seconds before you get into the game. But for people like me who like to customize every nook and cranny of the game, a custom animated login screen is something I've wanted for a while. So let's just get into it. I'll show you guys how to do it and how to change it and set it up for whatever you want. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to want to do is go to where you have PokeMMO installed. It should look something like this, and the first place we want to go is into the data folder. In the data folder, we're looking for the themes folder. And then in themes, you should have the default theme folder. Now, this is where everything's going to get installed to. We don't really need to go anywhere else. The first thing I'd recommend you do is make a backup or copy of your theme.xml because we are going to be replacing it. A quick update, since I made the original tutorial, the theme.xml file has been updated, and the theme.xml file I included in the download below no longer works, so do not use the theme.xml file that's included in the download. It's actually better if you just edit the theme.xml file yourself, because anytime the devs put out an update that updates this file, you'll have to come back in here and make a quick change in order to get the custom login screen to work again. So basically, you're just going to open up the theme.xml file, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see a bunch of lines of code that say include file name, and we just want to add an extra line. And we're going to put include file name login animation. I'm going to put the exact phrase in the description down below so you could just copy and paste it. But again, anytime there's an update that changes the theme.xml file, you'll have to add that line of code again. And again, please do not use the theme.xml file that's included in the download below because it doesn't work. It'll just break and not work at all. And then in the description down below, I'll have a link to where you could download the files here. It's basically just going to be these 3 files. They'll probably be in a zip folder. And you got the theme.xml, login-animation.xml, and then the animation folder. So just copy all 3 of these over. Boop. And you're done. the custom animation login screen is installed. Now, it's the Snorlax one I just showed off at the beginning of the video. But if you don't like this, we could change it. And that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do today. So you could change it to whatever animation or video you want. Now, before we go any further, I do want to give credit to where we got this information from. Kara, back in October, on the PokeMMO forums, basically put out a little tutorial on how to get the custom animated Diamond and Pearl Platinum animation that he set up. Unfortunately, with the way he set it up, anytime there was an update to the game, it kind of broke it. So if you scroll down, you'll see Real Madrid 1809 ended up putting out a little bit of an update to that, just making it so that it doesn't affect the game files anytime there's an update. And then I just kind of further modified his iteration to make it even easier to swap out any video you want. So the first thing you're going to want to do is we're going to go to easygif.com. I'll have a link to this site in the description down below. And you're basically just going to upload the MP4 file that you want. Just drag it and drop it right onto the website here. Make sure you're on video to PNG. Unfortunately, the animated login screen doesn't really like any other image format other than PNGs. I tried doing JPGs and it just crashed. So do video to PNG, upload your MP4 file, and then hit upload. It only supports up to 100 megabytes, so try to just do a quick little snippet of the area you want to have as your login screen. So after clicking upload video, it may take a minute or 2 for the video to pop up, but once it finishes uploading, it should bring you to a screen that looks like this. And there's some settings we got to modify here. Personally, I want the animation to look as smooth as possible, so for size, I'm going to leave it as original. And frame rate, I'm actually going to bump it up from 10 to 20, so it'll give me 20 frames per second for the animation. It'll keep it looking smooth and crispy. Now, if your animation is longer than 10 seconds, you may want to choose the 10 frames per second, which will allow you to do up to a 20-second animation. It won't look as smooth, but fortunately, that's the Cost of doing business. So I'm going to do 20 frames per second, 10-second clip, and then you could choose when to start and end. So if your video clip is a 2-minute clip, and the part that you want is 1 minute and 30 seconds into the clip, then you'll want to do 90 seconds here. So for me here, we're just going to do straight from the beginning here for the purpose of this video. 0 start time, and then right now it's on 15. If I try to start it, it's going to yell at me and tell me I can only do 10 seconds. So we're going to do from 0 to the 10-second mark, and this will give us 20 frames per second of the first 10 seconds of that video. And then we're just going to hit convert to PNG. It'll take a little second here. You could watch the cat dance while it does its work, while it does its magic. Shouldn't take that long. Alrighty, once the cat finishes working its magic, it'll actually show you every single frame that it pulled from the video for you. But we actually just want to hit this red button here, download frames as zip. So once you click on that, it'll actually compile all the images. It'll take all 200 frames and compile it into one zip folder for you. Download will begin. It should just take a minute to download. While that's downloading, though, we're going to actually want to get rid of the Snorlax. Since we're not going to be using the Snorlax here, just go ahead and highlight all the Snorlax photos and just hit delete. I'll have a zip folder in there for the Snorlax files if you like the Snorlax login screen. And then what we're going to do is once we finish downloading, here is our downloaded file that we just downloaded. Actually, it's going to drop it right into the animation folder here. Let's just give it a little rename. Name it the Johto zip. And now, see how easy this is. We're just going to take the Johto zip, and we're just going to extract it right in the animation folder. Just extract it here. Oh, there's all our files. And let's actually see what it looks like now. Let's launch the game. It'll take a second to load because there's a lot of frames, but boom, there we go. There is our custom Johto animation. Took us, what, 2 minutes at most. And again, you could do it for any video or MP4 file that you want. So feel free to take it and make it your own, I guess. Now, a couple things to note. If your animation is less than 200 frames or more than 200 frames, you might just want to stick around a little bit longer here. I'll show you what you got to do to make it work. Alright, so if your animation is less than 200 frames or more than 200 frames, and you go to try and launch the game, and it's not going to like that. It's currently set up so that you could just very easily unzip from the EasyGIF website and just go with 200 frames. If you have more or less than 200 frames, you're going to have to do some rewriting of the code yourself. So to get there, we're going to go back into the default theme folder and look for the login-animation.xml that we added. I strongly recommend you open it and edit it with Notepad++. If you don't have Notepad++, I strongly recommend you download it. It's a great program, perfect for editing XML files. And this is basically what the login animation XML file looks like. Basically, when you go to launch the PokeMMO game, this XML file tells PokeMMO which frames to load and in which order. And the way I have it written is the exact names of the EasyGIF images that'll come out of the zip folder that the EasyGIF website makes for you. So it's very easy. You just unzip it and bam, it should just work. But if your animation is less than 200 frames, you need to delete up until you get to however many frames you have. So if your animation's only 180, anything past 180 here, you're going to want to delete. Because if you don't have a file that's named EasyGIF frame 181 in that folder, when you go to try and launch it, the game's going to tell you your game's corrupt. When it's not, it's just trying to call for images that don't exist. So if your animation's only 180 frames, you're going to want to go ahead and delete anything that's past 180 here. So you'd scroll down and just delete all these until you only have the 180 frames that you have. And then same with down here. You'd scroll down to 180, and then anything under 180 you would delete. You would leave the slash animation and slash image. Just delete only the portions that are calling for the frames that you don't have. And then in vice versa, if you have more than 200 frames, if you want the PokeMMO load those extra frames, you're going to have to add them in manually. So you'd basically just copy this line of text, bam, paste it again, and then change the name to whatever the name of those extra frames are. And then same down here, just copy and paste, change it to 201. Also, just make sure rename it here as well. 201. Whatever the name of your file is, you'd put the name here. So frame 201. So you'd have to manually enter it in. It's a big hassle. I wouldn't recommend it. It'll probably take you quite a while. So if you can, preferably just do the 200 frames. It'll load relatively quickly, and you shouldn't have any issues. As far as the videos to upload, also I wouldn't recommend uploading anything larger than 720p, 1080p, 4K. Those will cause the game to load very slowly. All right, so that's gonna about do it. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Hoping to see some more custom animated login screens popping up on the PokeMMO forums. If you like this video, drop me a like. If you like my voice or my content, feel free to drop a sub. I've been streaming PokeMMO a lot on Kick and Twitch. If you could drop me a follow there as well, I'd appreciate it. Pretty new to PokeMMO. Been playing it off and on for years, but never really got around to beating all the regions. But I finally beat the final region that I needed, and I've been playing the end game and loving it. So hopefully I'll see you guys around. Maybe pop into one of my streams one of these days. This is Puff, signing out. Thank you.